Good day, everyone. My name is Nazmi Sofian bin Dato Sohaimi. I am from University Malaysia Sabah, Kota Kinabalu. I am a neuroinformatic researcher in Faculty of Computing and Informatics, and today I will be presenting this paper, which is the emotional state classification with distributed random forest gradient boosting machine and Naïve based in virtual reality using wearable electroencephalography and inertial sensing. So the outline over here is that I will be presenting what is actually EEG, how is it done, what is EEG important, some research question, and the challenges. We also have some literature reviews, some presenting the research methodology, some results and discussion, and finally the conclusion. So let us begin. What exactly is EEG? So EEG is actually the ability to measure and record the electrical activity of the human brain using non-invasive sensors. So there are some brainwave patterns that are present in our brain, which are the delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma. And each of these brainwave have a specific frequencies which governs our body functions. So the tests, again, are usually done with non-invasive sensors that attach onto the scalp on specific points of the sensor to start receive the signals on those electrode points. So the images shows an example of how the caps of the electrodes are worn and where are they attached onto the scalps. So why is EEG important? So it can help to diagnose some conditions such as seizures, epilepsy, head injuries, dizziness, headaches, and many others. And it can also be used to clarify if the patient is suffering from a brain death situation. So some research questions over here that I pose is that can commercially off-the-shelf wearable EEG devices be able to classify emotions? Can emotions be solely classified using EEG signals with inertial sensing data? Can emotion be classified using virtual reality environment as the stimulus presenter? So the challenges over here is that the medical grade EEG devices are expensive and are sensitive equipment which requires a lengthy setup time. The non-availability of the publicly accessible virtual reality database for emotional assessment for emotion stimulation is difficult. Developing a database for virtual reality evocation that is immersive and can distinctively differentiate the four classes of emotions, which are the happy, scared, bored, and calm. So literature review. So the virtual reality environment can be applied in different fields such as military stress evaluation tests and cognitive motor rehabilitations. And in some of the reported studies of emotion recognition studies, there are publicly available data sets such as the IAPS, IADS, DAP, and Amigos dataset. So the classifiers that were commonly used for emotion classifications were distributed random forest and Naïve-based and gradient boosting machine. So we look at DRF and GBM first. So DRF could actually achieve 98.1% on 4-class emotion and also 78.3% on a 6-class emotion, whereas GBM could actually classify emotions on a 2-class at 77.11% on DAP and 84% on Amigos dataset. But unfortunately, Naïve bias had little evidence of it being studied for using EEG signals and was largely focused on music and text-based emotion classification. Therefore, there's no direct comparison whether the classification accuracy is comparable. So, looking into research methodology, we want to classify the 4 classes of emotions again, as mentioned in the challenges section. We collected some samples of videos from online sources and then stitched them together to present the stimulus to the participants for data collection. So we arranged them according to this, which are calm, scared, happy, and boring. And in the transition, we actually provided them 10 seconds rest so they don't carry over the previous emotions into the next emotions, which could reduce the accuracy of our classification. So this is the arousal valence space model, which is provided by Russell. So why did we choose the 4 emotions as presented in the challenge section just then? So there are 4 quadrants over here. And in the X and Y axis, there are valence as well as arousal. So valence is the negative and positive emotions, whereas arousal is whether you are feeling highly aroused or not so aroused. So each of these quadrant, we selected one basic emotions, which is happy, scared, bored, and calm. We try to avoid selecting complex emotions because the definitions is sometimes difficult to define. Whereas these 4 emotions that we have selected here are easy and easily understandable. So these are the examples of the happy videos that were selected to present for the user. So each of the quadrant, we provide 80-second stimulation. So each of this video is actually 20 seconds approximately. So we can see here happy videos, there are 4. Scary videos, there are 4. Boring videos, there are 4. And lastly, calm videos, also 4 of them. So how do we present the stimulation package to the test participants, as well as how do we collect the EEG dataset? So what we did over here is that we use the VR box that are mounted on the participant, together with a smartphone presenting the stimulation package, as well as the earphone, to allow proper immersion experience. And then we use what we call the EEG headset. This is called Muse, which has 4 channels, 2 at the front and 2 near the earlobes, and then we pump this information to the RStudio. This is an example of how the user actually wears the experiment, during the experiment, and then this is the position of where the electrodes are. So the blue dots over here are where the electrodes are sitting. Nasion is the nose, Inion is the rear of the head. So this is the process flow of the while collecting the data and presenting the stimulation package. So after we have collected the data, we do some cleaning and analyze the statistical analysis using a statistical analysis software to determine the accuracy of the samples. But before that, if there is any empty rows between the collected data, we would do some approximation values using interpolation process. So these are the rows that we have. These are the rows that we actually collected. So there are timestamp, delta, theta, alpha, beta, gamma, accelerometer, and gyro, which are the inertial sensing data. So the 3 classifiers that we use for classification is the distributed random forest, the gradient boosting machine, and the Naïve Bayes. All these are using the H2O package for the RStudio. We run tenfold cross-validation method, and we run across the subject analysis, which is also called intersubject variability and subject dependent. So this is the accuracy of the average 4 classes. So we can see over here there are 2 colored bar charts, which is the orange is without the inertial sensing data, and the blue one is with the inertial sensing data. So we can see the blue bar charts, it classified better than the data without the inertial sensing data. However, the DRF, or the distributed random forest, actually stayed the same. So we delve deeper by looking into the confusion matrix of the 4 classes with and without the inertial sensing data. And we look into the recall and precision accuracy. So this is the Naïve Bayes. We can see the legend over here. The top 2 is without, the bottom 2 is with the inertial sensing data. So we can see some of them have actually obtained a better precision values compared to some of the rest, such as like over here we can see scared and happy had a higher precision values compared to bored and calm, where they suffered slightly or greatly in terms of precision values. For gradient boosting machine, we look over here, scared actually had the highest precision values. However, calm and happy actually suffered a little bit in precision accuracy, whereas bored over here actually increased slightly in precision accuracy. Lastly, we look at distributed random forest. Again, we see scared actually obtained the highest precision accuracy, whereas calm and happy actually had suffered slight degradations. Excuse me. Bored also actually suffered a little bit of the precision value. So we can see over the three of these bar charts, we can see that actually SCAD had a more consistent, the highest accuracy compared to the other three emotions, calm, bored, and happy. So probably SCAD actually, when averaged against the other three emotions, could actually be the dominating percentage accuracy. But we have to look deeper into why is this happening. Was it due to inertial sensing data, body movement, or some other things that are contributing to the factors? So, in conclusion, using a commercial off-the-shelf EEG headset with only 4 electrode channels can actually classify emotions with acceptable accuracy. The virtual reality environment can properly evoke emotional response of the participants, and applying the inertial sensing data does improve some of the 4-class emotion classifications. Well, in terms of average value, it does show an increase, but when we look into the confusion matrix, it showed a slightly different story. So therefore, we have to dive deeper into why this is happening. So this is my published papers. There are 4 of them that are available. And then these are the tabulation data for the confusion matrices, which are available also in the paper when ISCAIE posts online. And then this has come to the end of my slide. I do hope that everyone stay safe, and hopefully this situation will pass on. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.